Okay, welcome to Liquid Lunch. It's me, Hugh, and Sandra's here.
Hello.
And we have a little bit different look
Yes, we
here
do.
today.
We do. We do.
I don't know if you have any reptilian shapeshifter videos to see today, though.
You know what? The background looks kind of it looks like the Canadian flag. So maybe the reptilians will leave us alone because we're a peaceful country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Canadian flag. I got it branded, the Canadian flag.
Do you really?
Oh,
Let's
my
see.
leg there. Yeah, it's my yin yang. I don't know if you guys can see that on the
Very
That
cool.
is really cool.
So, yeah, that's
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, the one thing that's missing is the M for the Molson thing, right?
I am Canadian, but I don't drink beer anymore, so.
Awesome. Awesome.
Great. So here we are, and we have, well, that's Justin Booth, and Jacob, Kearey-Moreland. Hey, Jacob. So now you guys kind of met through that channel, right?
We met through you guys,
wow.
Yeah. So
Another ThatChannel miracle.
Exactly. So how did that happen, and what are you guys up to now? I know some of it, but you know, for these guys.
I don't.
Do you want to start, or you start? All right. Well, I mean, basically, you know, as we started off last time, I was talking about the project that I'm working on, and I felt that, you know, everyone is yearning to do something you know, maybe like what we're doing, whether they want to join in with us or they're doing their own type of project. And you know, when I watched and read more about what Jacob's doing with Occupy Gardens, I was like, oh, this is the exact same thing that I'm doing, just in a different aspect. I mean, I'm trying to build a community on renewable energies and sustain everything on renewable energies off the grid, and provide fresh fruit and vegetables and nutritious meals for people to eat that's not, you know, plastic with flavoring on top of it. So
yeah, you're doing the soul food farming.
well, I
right?
do the soul food farming. We're big on the wheatgrass, trying to get people on you know, testing out wheatgrass and learning about the benefits for their diet, nutrition, and you know, many other things that you know, words that you can't use and say that it does. Like, I mean, for health benefits for fighting, you know, cancers and a different type of illnesses, joint pains, skin pains, and especially because of the live enzymes, it even helps to rebuild damaged nerve endings. You know, personal experience of myself of severe brain damage from a head contusion that I took, as well as, you know, abusing substances for so long, had massive different damages, even in my jaw. Still moving my jaw a lot, but before it was way worse. So now introducing this has been able to really help rebuild new endings in my jaw, and as well as some other problems I had with joint pains in my ankle when I had to.
And Justin, you've done this through diet alone?
This is, well, I mean, I started off with a vegetarian diet, and then a few of my buddies were just sort of just like the way I met Jacob, was just like randomly bumped into them. And they're like, hey, here, you know what? Just try this wheatgrass, because you know, you're on a vegetarian diet. It's good for you. And you know, they didn't tell me what it was going to do for me. They just sort of gave it to me. And as like the first day of the energy sort of sat in, and I was like, wow, just like I feel like, you know, I feel like just an abundance of ecstasy and energy, and I just sort of applied myself more. And then you know, there's other things that I mentioned on the last video that really took place. And so afterwards, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to research this and what are the benefits. And then I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Wow. So I made soul food farming, and I'm like, people got to know about this stuff. Like, they really, and people don't know about it. That's the crazy thing about it. And if people really just took the time to, you know, read the benefits and see where these facts come from, you know, so that just not meet someone saying, oh yeah, it's good for this, and I'm trying to sell you a product. And you know, because I as I said, I'm on my site with the sales that we're doing, very reasonable with, we want to work out a reasonable price plans with people to help them with their, you know, their certain situations, perhaps even do a barter system, which, you know, I'm getting some sort of hate with respect to the ministry and the government, or people that work in there, saying that you have to be aware of this. But
about the barter stuff?
Yeah. Well, I'm barter
because
everything.
There's no money.
Like, it's because there's no money, and I'm doing transactions, and you know what, guys? I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down. I'm trying to start a revolution here. And
exactly.
So I'm gonna start that with Hugh and Jacob here.
That's right. And you're talking about the wheatgrass stuff. I haven't had a chance yet, but I want to take the wheatgrass challenge, and I want to see how it affects me.
I have a wheatgrass machine.
You do?
I do.
An extractor?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't they amazing?
I haven't used it yet.
Oh, well, then I gotta give you
Okay,
some wheatgrass
see, that's
so
the,
that you
that's
can
the
put
thing.
it in
You know
there.
what? That's the thing. I got it because I know I heard it's amazing stuff, and it's in the box. I've had it for 2 months. It's
Is
in
it
the
just
closet.
one of those?
Yeah.
They're amazing.
So what do I do?
Okay, you know what? I'll give you my card after. You give me a call. I'll come down and personally deliver.
We should do it. Maybe we should do live on the studio in the studio.
Can we do that, Justin?
We could definitely do that. We can't do it right now this second, but we could definitely.
Well, I
do
don't
it.
have it
We could also-
here.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay,
and,
so you know what?
and
Let's
we'll spread
book
the
a
word
time
about
and
it.
I'll bring it because then you can show me on live on the air. Because
Awesome. I'd love to
it'll
show
be like,
everyone the fresh and the frozen
Okay, that's
product
cool.
as well. So.
oh wow,
Okay.
awesome.
I just want to say, so you're doing the soul food farming and the wheatgrass, and then Jacob's doing the Soilidarity, right?
Which
Occupy
is-
Gardens for World Peace.
Which is amazing. this project was incredible. The fact that he's got U of T backing him, you know, Idle No More. And what I did is to come into a meeting and sit with him. And right away I was like, listen, this is something that we need to create some synergy with. So why don't you explain what you guys are doing? Because this was, I had to jump in with you guys right away because this is a project that we can implement the wheatgrass as a nutritious benefit. But go on, exactly.
Well, as you guys know, last May 1st, International Workers' Day, May Day, Occupy Gardens led a free community food garden planting and garden party in Queen's Park. And we planted a free community food garden on the north lawn of Queen's Park, calling attention to the global and local food crisis, where about 1 billion people are, food insecure, lacking access to healthy food, and hundreds of thousands of people in this city, over a third of which are children under 16, an appalling situation.
Wow.
Which-
In this country?
In this city, hundreds of thousands of people lack access to healthy food, are food insecure. Many of whom live in what some people call food deserts, other people might call food apartheid,
Wow. Wow.
where it's just geographically inaccessible for them to reach a grocery store.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot of issues in the food system as well, in the way we produce food, the environmental implications of our industrial, oil-based food system, factory farming of animals, the genetic modification and the privatization of seeds and nature. And so food in its centrality within our economy and our environment and our health and our culture and our communities represents like a major pillar holding up this current monetary market system.
Which has got to change. I mean, the more every day there's like, what is it this week? They call it the Monsanto Protection Act or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's Monsanto that's, privatizing seeds and making, what do they call those? The Terminator seeds, and farmers in
But
India.
it's not really, it's more so just to sell their chemicals.
Yeah.
Monsanto's really a drug dealer more than anything else. While they do spend like millions and millions on, researching and developing these genetic modified seeds, appropriating these seeds from indigenous peoples from around the world who spent many generations, hundreds or thousands of years growing these seeds out to where they currently are. Monsanto swoops in like a, as Vandana Shiva calls it, a biopiracy. They steal these seeds and then they take them to their lab, they tweak it, and then they claim ownership over it, and then they flood the market with it, and they destroy local food systems.
Yeah.
Now, some countries are banning Monsanto, though, aren't they?
A lot of countries
Yeah,
are. There's
so-
a global movement. Millions against Monsanto. There's going to be a global march happening on May 25th.
Really?
Oh.
And in Toronto here, there's a Kids Right to Know march. And that's happening, I think, in the beginning of June, maybe June 1st or June 10th. I'm not exactly sure. But
Wow.
there's all kinds of movement afoot. And recently, we organized a national day of action called by the National Farmers Union and CBAN, the Canadian Biotech Action Network, to stop the introduction of genetically modified alfalfa into Canada. And I'm pretty sure Monsanto actually backed off, and they're focusing on their U.S. markets, and they don't want to introduce it into Canada anymore. But we
Well, the
haven't had a
thing is,
final.
it's not good for the farmers even
Yeah, the farmers
to
didn't want
do it, because what's going to happen is, and I think we've already seen it, where Europe banned GMO crops that Canada was growing, and so our farmers lost a huge market.
Yeah,
right.
for sure. And so these are like tangential issues in the food system, but primarily it's the inequality of wealth and power that results in the lack of agency of people.
They make it impossible for the lower class to be able to eat healthy and be able to benefit from a nutritious diet or a balanced diet. you know, it's impossible when you have 59-cent cheeseburgers and
Yeah,
you know,
very good point.
65-cent fries with gravy, and you know, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I've been there. I was a high school student. I was a high school dropout rather, and a college dropout, and you know, that's what I maintained my life on for a long time. But my life was poor, you know, and it got to a point where I had to make a change. And the craziest thing was just changing your diet made such a big difference. And the thing is, it's hard to either, you know, afford to do it if you don't have the money to do it. And it's a lot of work for people to do it too, because it's so easily accessible to walk to a drive-through, or walk up to a person and say, I need this, here's a toonie, boom, Toonie Tuesday, fill me with some GMO fake chicken fat, like, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
And again, that's what, again, what's great about, you know, May 1st, you know, we want you guys to be coming out to Queen's Park and marching with us and being able to, you know, plant these gardens and creating awareness, because we need to be able to create a revolution. And it's, you know, it's time for someone in Canada or in Toronto to be able to have a group like this and team up with all these other small groups where people are doing the same things like Jacob and myself in our communities, and come together and make the change and start being able to plant gardens wherever we want, so that we can have free, nutritious food rather than having to go and pay. You know, it's ridiculous to be the difference between GMO food and organic foods. And it's not cost efficient for us, and that's why we want to plant and give people food. That's why we want to grow like a soul food farm, and you know, farms at Queen's Park, and you know, in the alleyways. We want to, as we said before, we want to make gardening gangster. You know, bring it back to the streets.
Now, to play devil's advocate, okay, I know, Jacob, you did this, and you had a bit of when you did those, when you were handing out seeds, I think. And you had a bit of a flack from the government. I think they kind of you had a bit of a pushback. Last time you were on the show.
Yeah, didn't they dig up your garden or something?
After we planted the garden, throughout the growing season, we had hundreds of people come. We had a multi-faith blessing with local chaplains and
wow.
Many kids and tourists. Like hundreds of people came through the garden, and the garden flourished. Then on the eve of harvest, the City of Toronto Director of Parks ordered city workers to destroy the garden. And they
on the day of harvest?
The day before harvest. And I don't know whether or not the actual Director of Parks knew that the harvest was happening, but the Parks Ambassador, Troy Ford, and Parks staff knew that that was happening because we had posters up in the garden.
Wow.
And then they destroyed it. We had eyewitnesses there watching the whole thing, taking pictures.
Of it being destroyed?
Of it being destroyed. I went, I saw it being destroyed. I talked to the workers, asked them why they're doing this, told them the story of it, told them that the garden was planted in honor of workers on International Workers' Day, in recognition that about a third of workers around the world are actually agricultural workers.
And what was their response when you told them that?
A few of the workers, well, they stopped because they ran out of sod that they were laying down, and then a few of the workers said, I washed my hands of this. They left early. They had a conference nearby to kind of discuss internally what they're going to do, but at that point, the garden had already been ripped up and the sod was half over.
So what, I mean, if it was the day before harvest, it was actually like a malicious intent, or was it? Or was it just a weird coincidence?
Or maybe they just didn't know.
Well, the workers themselves and the Parks Ambassador definitely knew that it was on the eve of harvest, because when I told them that, they were there. They saw the posters, they took the posters down. They told me that our planned harvest festival and picnic was also illegal. We didn't have a permit to picnic. And so, you know, there's no sympathy for that either.
Can't you just have a picnic? It's Queen's Park. Can't you have a picnic in a park? Is that the idea?
You'd be surprised what you can and can't.
Like I'm not like one of those guys that say like F the police and, you know, hoorah and stuff like that. I mean, I have family that's in the police force, and it's you know, you don't want to stereotype even the politicians and stuff like that, but there are certain key individuals in key places where it only takes one person to stand up and say, you know, this is not right, you can't do it, because there's so many followers in the world. And that's, you know, look at LinkedIn, look at Twitter. All the people want to do is like and follow. So why don't we, you know, and it's sad to say, but like, why don't you just stand up and say, look, guys, like, come on, that's not cool. Let's do good for everyone. and follow that, you know, like, you know, not.
Well, I think it's time.
That,
I mean,
you know
as
what
we were
Like,
talking,
that's-
it's time for a revolution. I mean, it sounds severe to say that.
No, I mean, it's shade
Right?
of bear, revolution. Like, there's nothing else you can call it, because the way it is time. There is people around the globe. There's light workers. There's like working with ascended masters. There's spiritual energies working around us. There, you know, I mean, like, look at this garden. How great was that garden when those people, different nationalities, different religious beliefs, even though, like, I mean, myself, I don't believe in religion. I'm not to say that I don't believe in certain religious figures, to say that I don't, because I believe that there is certain people that really were there, but it's the thought and belief of love and hope, love, light, and passion, and putting that together. And when you have that frequency thought, that's an energy, and you gotta, and you can continue to feed that frequency. I mean, people have said it before, but just really, if everyone just stopped for a second, instead of not to say that we shouldn't mourn people for Remembrance Day, but imagine everyone stopped, instead of a Remembrance Day on a different day, and we just had a Love Day, and everyone at 11 o'clock or like 4 o'clock at 4:44 on the 4th day of the 4th month, and like everyone just said, "I love you," like out loud. You know how crazy would that? I just got chills. Like someone just said that back to me. You know what I mean?
You know what we should do right now? Let's take a little break. Play that Royal Ute video.
Oh yeah, cool.
Right?
I like that. Yeah.
Love we need.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we'll
He's
come
awesome, by the way. By the way, thanks for adding me on Facebook, because I got banned for adding so many people.
You're going to follow him now, right?
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
gonna follow.
I'm a follower. I'm a leader and a follower, but yeah.
So let's watch the video, and we'll come back, and we'll carry on here with Justin and Jacob. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
Freddie,
I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your gun, no need for the grudge. God bless the love, it is a must. I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your guns, no need for the grudge. God bless the love, it is a. I just love and happiness, away the bobo manifest. Teaching you them cleanliness, and if we pray and do them best. Treading in the valley of the shadow of death, with wicked man I dig them pit, and evil man I send check. But never will I fear, and never will I fret, when the bobo you think treading through this generation next. Yo, where them a go doing this a generation next. When me burn them robots and cyborgs and surrogates, you better change your dirty ways, you better watch your dirty flex. Can't me them are impressed with them corrupted Congress. I just love and righteousness away the biggie you profess. Get to you, just watch your ways and step away from filthiness. I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your guns, no need for the grudge. God bless the love, it is a must. I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your guns, no need for the grudge. God bless the love, it is a must, yo. Get a youth, just hold the faith and go and try this shit. Enough of them in a them pretty suit, them a fake. Mama in a the kitchen, toto a bake. Jabbles the little and the much, Rasta ever great. I just want this, if you want, figure choose Iron Gate. Rasta ever tell them that love conquer hate. No care what them a try, and them a infiltrate. Get a youth, no matter make them string you up. I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your guns, no need for the grudge. God bless the love, it is a must. I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your guns, no need for the grudge. I just blessings from above. I just love we need a more love. Coming like a showers of blessings from above, and we no wanna greed. So put away your guns, no need for the grudge. God bless the love, it is a. I just love and happiness, away the bobo manifest. Teaching you them cleanliness, and if we pray and do them best. Treading in the valley of the shadow of death, with wicked man I dig them pit, and evil man I send check. But never will I fear, and never will I fret, when the bobo man him treading through this generation next. Yo, where them a go doing this a generation next. When me burn them robots and cyborgs and surrogates, you better change your dirty ways, you better watch your dirty flex. Can't me them are impressed with them corrupted Congress. I just love and righteousness, away the bobo manifest. Get to you, just watch your ways and step away from filthiness.
Okay. All right. Hey, we're back here on the show, and that was that Royal Ute video, which you had in your head anyway, right,
Awesome.
Justin?
It was playing in my head the whole time. I
Yeah.
could hear it, yeah.
I know.
I can
That's
hear
a
it fading
huge
out,
hit.
too.
It's a huge
It's
hit.
huge. It's huge.
It just hasn't caught on yet.
Royal Youth, big tune, brethren.
So, okay. So let's talk about, we got so much to talk about, but we should get down to the details about May 1st, right? Because basically, it's happening at Queen's Park, right?
Yeah.
So what is happening exactly?
So on the south lawn of Queen's Park, starting at 1 p.m., we're having a free food for all festival. And we're making the case for the right to food. We believe everyone should have free access to healthy, nutritious food, and that everyone should be free to participate in a just and sustainable food system.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll be having a ceremonial song and drum led by 6 Nations, as well as speakers on migrant justice. There's thousands of migrant farm laborers here in Ontario growing our local organic food. And so there's incredible human rights violations happening in our own backyards in regards to the food that we're consuming every day. And then we'll also be having a variety of workshops. Meanwhile, there's going to be a free food serving happening. Everyone is invited to bring cutleries, plates, bowls, reusable dishes, and invited to bring a potluck as well. We recommend a vegetarian meal, make it accessible to as many people as possible. And then we're having a musical theater reenactment. Our musical theater, we're having a global premiere of No Garden is Illegal. And it's the story of the birth, life, death, and rebirth of the People's Peace Garden. And we'll be telling the story with Creatures United in animal and vegetable costumes. And our main character, the squirrel, anonymous squirrel, gets arrested for planting nuts without permission in public space.
Where do you get your vegetable costumes? Because the closest I got was at the Value Village. They had a giant banana costume,
So
which I regret
we're
not
trying to go
picking
local
up.
with our vegetables and our costume making. So we've been constructing all the costumes ourselves.
Very
We've been
creative.
having,
Very creative bunch.
Yeah.
Very creative bunch.
And so we have original music, dance, original script that we've prepared, and then culminating after the musical theater, we'll be replanting a small symbolic community garden on the south lawn of Queen's Park underneath the Canadian flag and behind a war memorial. It's quite simple. When you have 1 billion people without access to food, it provokes conflict and violence amongst peoples, and it leads to war and devastation. And so if we were to spend a fraction of the nearly $2 trillion we spend as a global civilization on military and fighter jets and prisons, on food, we would have genuine peace.
We would just have enough food for everyone, and everyone would be happy. I mean, like, I know I can't even, like, I'm grumpy right now because it's almost lunchtime, and like I haven't had my lunch yet. So I mean, you know what I mean? And this is ridiculous. And this is why it's so important that we need as many people that are watching this as possible to show your love and support. Come down here, pour donations. We're not even asking for money. All right, we're asking for your time, your love, your blessings, and anything that you can send. I thought, there's a lot of heroes out there. And I'm challenging you guys out there. Who's going to be a hero? Who's going to show up? Who's going to go out to their local grocery store and say, hey, April 30th, I know you guys should throw out all your buns. I know there's a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables you guys throw out because they're dirty. Who's going to be the hero to show up with a U-Haul van and like just open up the truck and just like boom, 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 start hand bombing bread, and like lettuce and like, it'll be like a fun food fight, but throwing food into the mouths of people instead of
feed the movement.
Not wasting it, and that would be incredible. I mean, I had a dream about that, and I was telling Jacob about that, and it was, I'd really like that dream to come true. Not even just me doing that, but someone else to see that. I definitely shed a few tears of joy to see that happen.
Hey, I just want to ask. I mean, Jacob, you're talking about the fact that no garden should be illegal, because I was getting emails like a while back now, but saying that there was laws being passed in the U.S. in certain Canadian cities where it was actually illegal to have a garden
on your front yard, on your own private property, on your front yard. There's municipal bylaws.
But was it more than that? It was even that certain kinds of food you couldn't grow.
Yeah, that's true. It's absurd.
That's where I got that gangster gardening from, on that guy from TED Talks. I saw it out in LA, and then when I didn't think it was really happening here, but then
I knew about
Jacob enlightened me on the situation.
I've seen guerrilla gardeners in action. Like
that's amazing.
You come in and there's a garden planted.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Okay,
I need some guerrilla gardeners for my mom's backyard, so if anyone wants to, just give me a call on Facebook or on my cell phone.
Okay, so May 1st, that's coming up.
Yeah, also it's
So
Solidarity City, so we'll be leading a creature crawl from Queen's Park to City Hall to join with the May Day movement, a coalition of over 30 groups. We'll be having a round dance at City Hall, and then we'll be leading a march through the downtown to Little Norway Park to stand in solidarity with the striking Porter Airline workers.
Where's that, Little Norway Park?
It's just Queen's Quay in Bathurst, I think.
Okay.
So
Really?
this is from 1 to 4? Or is that?
Yep, May
1 to
1st,
4.
1 to 4, Free Food for All Festival, Soilidarity City. And if you can't make May 1st, or you're in another city, or you're elsewhere, just plant a garden. You know, in your front yard, in your park, at your school, at your CD hall, in some public space, and invite people to grow. And then
film it, and then send it to us on Occupy Gardens Toronto.com.
Also,
or soulfoodfarming.org. I wanna post those videos. Send us your videos. Send us your links.
And you can hashtag free food for the number 4 all. It's going to be our tag for the day and for the movement. And yeah, we're really excited.
And all for you young cats out there, check out isellgrass.com because I sell grass. And then do it on .com.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
It's perfectly legal.
Yeah, wheatgrass.
Okay. And I think that, as we were talking before, I think that there's a lot of people coming together, not just around this issue, but around a lot of issues, because it's getting ridiculous what's happening. And you know, if we don't do something about the banks and the Monsantos and the governments and the false flag operations that are going down, then
the thing is,
gonna be a problem.
you know, we gotta tend to these needs or these situations with almost like in special needs in a sense, because we can't go into it with a aggressive state of mind. It has to be conveyed with love, light, and passion the whole time, because it's the whole change and revolution is based on love, light, and passion. So we can't go in. It's not, you know, we don't please, whether it's Queen's Park May 1st or anything from here out in the future. We're not again guerrilla rebels who are trying to, you know, start, you know, hurting things and breaking things down. We're not looking for that type of stuff. We're looking for love, light, and passion. So if you guys truly have love in your heart and you guys truly want to help people, that's the people that we're looking for. You know, if you guys are in it to, we're in it to win it. So if you guys are in it to destruct it, then please don't make yourself present to this. This is a loving community that we're building here.
that's great. That's a great. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, you know, it's about being inclusive, not exclusive.
Exactly.
Right.
We
so
forgive you, Stephen Harper.
We love you.
come and join us.
Okay. So
Let's go have some wheatgrass together.
okay. So thanks, guys, for doing this.
No,
and,
it's cool. Thank you very much for having me
Thank
out again. I
you.
appreciate it. Anytime you guys want to help me out here.
So we're going to do the wheatgrass thing pretty soon.
We are.
So okay. Oh, and we're going to have you back too, Jacob, to talk about the nuclear energy that you're involved with.
It's a whole nother kind of energy. Talk about free
Are
energy.
you talking about the ukulele he plays, or the ukulele? No, I'm just joking.
Well,
he's pretty good on that too.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break. We're going to actually play a little bit of a video here because we've got Lyndon Myers from the Toronto Reggae Ska Explosion, which is coming up on May 4th. And so let's check this out. We're going to come back with Lyndon as the lunch continues. We'll be right back.
Please.
Yeah, taking you down memory lane when the music was nice and the music was clean. Yeah. Coming from the top of the mountain, brother Carl Cassius Clay's back again, you know. Bobbing and weaving and moving away. Brother Carl Cassius Clay's the order of the day. So if you want to see some good exhibition, you got to see the brother Carl Cassius Clay in action. Woo! Wawa, Chihuahua. Chihuahua, 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 Chihuahua. Heavyweight champion of the world. Brother Carl Cassius Clay is coming back to retain his title. So move away, George Foreman, move